The 3D platformer used to be the premium genre in gaming back in the late 90s and early 2000s. From Mario to Mickey Mouse, nearly every marketable mascot was throwing their hat into the ring for jumping, platforming adventures. Naturally, after oversaturation and the dawn of the third-person cinematic shooter, 3D platformers fell from grace before a comeback these last few years. So today we're running through 10 of the absolute best 3D platformers you can play on the Nintendo Switch, since, after all, Nintendo invented the genre with Super Mario 64. The only requirement for this list is that the game needs to be available to purchase on Nintendo Switch right now. So sorry Mario 3D All-Stars, you got 3 great games, but your delisting has doomed you.
Number 10.
Sing this one if you know it. Who lives in an apartment dreading paying rent and remembers the reign of the licensed game? Well, if that's you too, you'll probably remember SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. The game got a remixture ported to modern consoles just a few years ago with the Rehydrated Edition and is a reminder of simpler times. It may not have aged perfectly, but if you're a fan of SpongeBob and somehow haven't played this yet, it's worth picking up for all of the references and being able to explore Bikini Bottom. Look at it as a long-lost episode from the show's peak seasons.
Number 9.
Splatoon who? This Wii-era platformer saw players play as the titular Blob, a creative force of nature sparking a revolution in a society taken over by a regime that desaturates all life to its literal gray matter. And as far as platformers go, it is pretty straightforward, as gameplay just involves you finding colors in the world and jumping on different buildings and structures to paint them. For this reason, it's a great way for newcomers to experience the genre and a relaxing game for the experienced. Just lean back and listen to that jazzy OST.
Number 8.
Former Rare employees turned the page on their development careers with the launch of Platonic Games back in 2014, and their first Kickstarter project was a spiritual successor to the beloved bear and bird of the N64 with Ukulele. Ukulele took the classic collectathon platformer and brought it back to modern times for better and worse. There are a host of modern quality of life changes in place against the classic formula of going to a world and finding everything. With this one, Platonic essentially added another N64 platformer to their classics, crass jokes included.
Number 7.
Try to imagine a 2D version of a 3D platformer. And no, I don't mean Super Mario 3D World, I mean Demon Turf. Demon Turf is an artistically distinct member of the 3D platformer genre in that its lead character, a young demon girl named Beebs, travels to multiple worlds on her quest. The thing that stands out most with Demon Turf, aside from its well-designed platforming, is the characters are 2D renders that you would expect to see in the Paper Mario series. Maybe this is what Super Paper Mario wanted to be?
Number 6.
Kirby's one of Nintendo's most iconic characters, and he still rarely seems to get the respect he deserves for all the work his franchise has done to flesh out the library of every Nintendo console and handheld. That is, until the Switch released his first ever true 3D platformer adventure in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Maintaining Kirby franchise staples like copy abilities and getting to the end of a course and saving friends and eating things and anything else you would expect out of the Pink Puffball's adventures, the Forgotten Lands expands to 3 dimensions to allow for some creative platforming and some truly larger-than-life sequences.
Number 5.
PlayStation's original mascot may be preparing to move in with Xbox, but boy, has he supported the Nintendo Switch very well. In addition to the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and CTR Nitro-fueled, Toys for Bob's entirely original Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, is not only a standout in the series, falling just short of the original Crash 2, on top of classic time trials, a newly added mirror mode, and multiplayer, plus a variety of playable characters, it also features the best story in the franchise, and has plenty of challenge for those wanting to see it.
Number 4.
In the aforementioned good stretch of time where 3D platformers were pretty much a dead genre outside of Mario games, this left plenty of room for the indie scene to take charge and deliver some of the most beloved indies of the 2010s, one of them being A Hat in Time. Inspired by classic games like Mario 64 and Psychonauts, the game follows an alien girl and her magical top hat as they travel through world after world, trying to return home on a spaceship. It's been supported well after its initial launch with a major update back in 2021, and this game definitely played a part in getting a new generation interested in the genre after a drought and inspired loads of indies to pursue making their own little collectathons.
Number 3.
Speaking of collectathons, we can't not mention the OG here. And while BanjoKazooie is not available to purchase outright on the Nintendo Switch, it is still playable in the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack tier subscription. BanjoKazooie is a rare classic of the N64 that manages to still hold up as playable and fun in modern times. Traversing a diverse lineup of locations, with Mad Monster Mansion being a big highlight, the art of collecting Jiggies, Jinjos, and finding unique transformations in each world, then bringing them back to the main Spiral Mountain hub to progress further, show that the Bear and Bird's first adventure is timeless.
Number 2.
3 games in one, talk about value. Much like his brother in the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy, the Spyro Reignited trilogy takes the original 3 PlayStation classics and modernizes them with a beautiful overhaul that captures the original fairy tale aesthetics. Spyro the Dragon, Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and Spyro Year of the Dragon are all excellent 3D platformers that are as rock solid as they get. These are also a joy to 100%. Each game has a wonderful sense of humor thanks to the original scripts from Ratchet & Clank developers Insomniac, plus the vocal talents of SpongeBob himself, Tom Kenny, bringing our purple dragon to life. While the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy is also a great value, we gave the edge to Spyro for this list since his series is much more in line with the more open and hub-based nature we love in 3D platformers. And now for some honorable mentions.
Number 1.
Honestly, did you expect anything else? Nintendo started this craze with Super Mario 64, and Super Mario Odyssey is a defining entry in both the mainline Mario series and 3D platformers as a whole. Kicking off the first holiday season the Nintendo Switch ever saw, Super Mario Odyssey is a warm adventure with the plumber, embracing the whimsy and joy in travel and celebrating a wide array of cultures, all while looking snazzy and jumping like a pro. While there may be 999 collectible moons in addition to purple and gold coins, fret not for those still reeling after Donkey Kong 64. The way Mario Odyssey handles its progression by throwing as many moons as possible through whatever you could do in an environment in the world just helps you progress on your Odyssey at your own pace. And for the folks that want 100%, you'll have to face the dark side and darker side of the moon in a grueling gauntlet to put your skills to the test. That wraps up our list of the top 10 best 3D platformers on the Nintendo Switch. The eShop is full of hidden gem indies and games from yesteryear in the genre, so be sure to let us know what you thought of our picks and any great 3D platformers we missed. Be sure to stay tuned to TechRaptor for more, and we'll see you next time.